On everybody, pretty much we have decided to
plan our own wedding.
We thought it would be obviously one, cost efficient for us and fit in our budget, but two, we felt that we had time. During COVID-19, we were at home, so we were planning a lot of stuff for our own self. So we felt that it would be fun and beneficial. So that's why, like I said, we decided to make this video to hopefully help you plan your own wedding through COVID-19. These are some of the things that we decided to look out for, or we think that you should know, that you can find valuable, some of the information that you guys might be searching for when planning your own wedding.
Okay, so in no particular order, these are the topics that we chose to discuss and share with you.
So topic number 1, picking your venue.
Prior to COVID, and honestly, no more than like a week or two, we actually were able to check out a couple of venues. But this is what we suggest. Making a Pinterest account. There's also a couple wedding websites. Obviously, Google, Instagram is super helpful, and even Facebook a little bit. You can definitely check out a couple spots where, wedding locations, wedding venues. So that was obviously our first step, sending like venues to each other and like checking prices. That's obviously going to be our first thing when we look at picking a venue, but that's not everyone's first thing, because we actually have a budget.
So everybody has a budget that they probably want to stick around, or if you don't, then obviously good for you, but for us, obviously we have a budget that we want to stick around. So one of the things that we definitely wanted to take in play was obviously how many guests could we bring, location, and obviously the budget. And being in the Bay Area, for those who would know, is very expensive. So
that was our probably number one thing: cost and location.
Yeah, cost and location would probably be number 1, and number 2. One of both hand in hand, but it definitely makes the decision harder or easier, depends on what kind of budget that you have.
Okay, so during this pandemic that we're actually living in, so you can't just look for a venue. You can't just look up the cost. You actually have to look up the guidelines that are going on in your county, your location. A big thing for us was our refund. Like, we probably heard stories about people not being able to get their refunds for weddings that were supposed to happen last year in 2020. So going into picking our venue, that was like probably one of the more important things, like currently, because of the guidelines. If like there's a guideline going on and you can't have a wedding with up to 40, 50 people, that was probably like, in the contract.
Right. So like she said, make sure you have a contract. Definitely sign, and make sure everything about you getting your full refund back is in that contract.
Due to COVID.
Yeah. Because I would recommend that if you don't have anything saying that potentially you can get your money back, I would steer clear from that, because we never know what can go on. As far as the venue that we chose,
we got lucky.
Yeah, we got lucky. And now, one thing is, my family's not from here, so they're gonna have to come out here. Her family is, but she does have family outside of California. We want to make sure that they didn't have to travel different places, go different areas just to find one venue. Because once again, if you guys live in the Bay Area, the traffic and everything else can be pretty bad. We found a venue that not only had a spot for a ceremony,
and the reception. In one. It pretty much fits our criteria of what we probably would have wanted. We may have wanted maybe a little more modern, but it's actually pretty perfect for what we're looking for during this time.
Right. And we don't have any video footage of when we went to go look. Obviously, we did go, if we could look back on it, we wish we would have started before, but
we have a few pictures.
We have a couple pictures we may throw in. Also, we plan on bringing this video or YouTube to our wedding. So, obviously you guys be able to see the venue then and there. But yeah. Okay, so topic number 2. Choosing and finding a wedding dress or a suit.
Or tux. The first step during COVID-19, obviously even before 19, you actually have to book an appointment to try on a dress, because it's like a one-on-one personal experience. And I've learned, because I've actually gone about 4 times now, but I do have my dress. First of all, you have to wear a mask, and it's uncomfortable because you're constantly changing and you're hot, but I'd rather be safe. Coronavirus has prevented like gatherings and groups. We actually have a pretty big bridal party because I chose to have 8 bridesmaids. So he has 8 groomsmen. I'm only able to bring like a small party to these visits. So many COVID guidelines prevent like big groups and gatherings, like I had said. So I would be able to only bring about 2 or 3 people at most. And that's still even a lot, like for my comfort level. When trying on dresses, I'm obviously putting on different clothes. They had let me know ahead of time that things have been sanitized and my mask was required. And from my experience, I can't say this is for all bridal boutiques.
So every city or every state.
Yeah, we're in the Bay, California, so we probably have some of the more stricter guidelines. Upon arrival at most of these spots, they are private. There are one-on-one appointments. You are hand sanitizing. You bring your own bra. But you're obviously trying on dresses. So it is a little personal. I have noticed that they almost all wore gloves when helping me get into dresses. Besides that, to be prepared, I would, bring hand sanitizer, bring your own undergarments, bring your own shoes, because some places in the past would have allowed you to try on their stuff and their shoes and such things like that.
Believe it or not, we are about 6 months away from our wedding. So, and I still have not picked out a tux. Obviously, I'm very picky. Or a wedding band.
Pickier than I am.
I haven't even picked out a wedding band yet. So for her bridesmaids, we went ahead and ordered off of Amazon. We already ordered way in advance, so we already know how it's gonna look, how it's gonna fit on the girls. But at the same time, seeing that we have family in other places that are, it makes it easier because we can just ship it to them, right? And
yet it's also a challenge
for guys, anyways. I just want to decide if I want to rent or want to buy. When when actually, Julia came with me. And
I did.
And
my brother.
And her brother. So I only had
one
guy with me, and it made it easy because obviously, even though I didn't make a decision yet, it is definitely eye-opening. It's also me scrolling through online because obviously COVID-19 once again is just makes it hard to just go in anywhere and just pick out and try stuff on.
Number 3, or letter C. Taking our engagement photos. We actually got engaged January 1st, 2020.
Believe it or not, we didn't even take our engagement photos until December 2020.
A whole year, almost a year later.
I think that it's very important to have these photos because obviously you can send them out in your invitations or whatever it may be, but also just to let people know that, hey, we're engaged, right? It's a
not save the date, but like announcement.
Right.
Basically an announcement.
And it's a look in getting a photographer. And one of the most cost-effective way, or I guess I should say, is to stay in your budget is, do you know anybody? Do you have any friends? Do you have any families that take pictures? And we were able to find one of her coworkers that was able to hook us up with a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And, he did a really good job.
Engagement photos in San Francisco. So masks are required and we were not going to wear masks in our photos. We took our mask off when we were actually taking the photos. So it was a little challenging because at times there would be people walking by. We're in an outdoor public space and it was a really nice day.
We want to make sure we take the right precautions to stay safe no matter what. So that's why we threw this in here, because we do feel that it's that important when you are planning a wedding.
Fun fact, bring a friend to bring a mirror for your engagement photos. Shout out to her.
Yeah, she had a friend walking around with a mirror.
Yeah, it adds that extra, like, I could, see myself in,
I mean, I guess it made sense, but...
and she's also a friend that, she's in my social bubble, so it's, completely comfortable with her coming.
So number 4.
D.
Invitations. So create invitations. Now, we do understand that you can create invitations with,
just online
or without a pandemic or whatever. So we understand that, but it does go into planning your wedding, right?
So a couple key points about the invitations. I actually did know of a few places that you could actually go into And because of COVID, we actually chose not to. No other like extra interactions like with people. And there's so many websites like Shutterfly and Etsy, but we found Zazzle.
Zazzle.com.
Yeah, it was cool. And what's cool about them is if you don't like the invitations, you can return them.
Yeah,
but yet we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't return ours, but we thought that was pretty cool because, once again, just like the wedding venue, if we didn't like something, we could send it right back. So we think that customer service part is really great.
Because I think there's a couple spots where you're in person, you're actually designing it with them, so you're getting exactly what you want. Obviously, you can do that online, but like sometimes what you make online doesn't turn out to what it looks like.
Yeah, for us also sticking back to the cost effectiveness, pretty much did all the hard work ourselves. We have a Cricut machine, so we use that to write on our invitation envelopes. We ordered from Amazon because you can buy in bulk, and obviously, like Julia said, Zazzle, we ordered our
actual
invitation. So we went ahead and put it all together. Personally, I think that it's better because obviously we did it together, and it makes it more fun
and personal yeah.
Because we took the time to do all of them ourselves.
Number 5, or letter E.
So topic number 5, we dive into
vacation,
honeymoon, picking your destination. Now, as far as for COVID-19, I think this might be the biggest one. You can't just go anywhere now.
No, at all.
So whether you're a couple deciding to wait after your wedding or going right after, whatever you want to do.
And what's our plan? He had the idea of leaving 2 days after our wedding.
So we decided to leave maybe a couple days after our wedding. During that, obviously we have family that's going to be in town that is going to go home, but also we may need to take a COVID-19 test to prove that we're negative to go wherever we decide to go. So some key things, obviously, before COVID-19 or whatever, you're going to be online searching for what you want. But planning farther ahead of time, it allows you to save money. I mean, you can weigh out your options. Don't be afraid to weigh out your options because don't just go with the first thing you see.
Usually me.
If you're on a budget or whatever, you can either buy the flights and hotel together, or you can buy them separate, or whatever it may be. I don't know, but make sure that one, you save way in advance. So that's what we do.
Yeah, we actually started saving. Well, we've saved in general, but we've put like little money aside specifically for the wedding itself and for the honeymoon itself, and then for actually like events and what are they called, like excursions and little things while actually on our honeymoon.
Another thing is to keep in mind when you're planning your vacation or honeymoon is
is anyone gonna pay for us?
Yeah,
which is no.
Right.
For us, at least.
Unfortunately for us, we have nobody to pay for us, so that's why we came up with all these saving hacks. You want to go to a beach? Do you want to be in inland? I don't know. Do you we don't like cruises, so we're not going on a cruise.
And because of COVID, check COVID, your restrictions. Yeah. Like he had mentioned, every state or every country has their own guidelines, and so we're actually planning to stay within the states.
And go somewhere really nice. Now, obviously, when COVID-19 is up, I mean, we can always go somewhere else, whenever. So, have to be a little bit more selective when it comes to your guidelines and everything else. And, like I told you before, it's just understanding that if you may have to take a test in advance. So, the last thing we want anybody to do is get to their destination and
you have to quarantine for like 2 weeks or whatever, and you can't even enjoy your vacation because you have to stay where you're at.
And you didn't plan ahead. So
obviously there's so much more that goes into this, and maybe later we can do another video, but one was picking your venue, B, choosing your dress, which I do have, or your suit or tux, C, or 3, taking your engagement photos, D, ordering your invitations, 5, your vacation, your honeymoon.
So to finish off, one of the key things that we can't stress enough is just to plan ahead of time. you know, some people are on their own time schedule. Some people don't want a big wedding. Some people want a smaller wedding. Some people want to get married at the courthouse. You know, some people elope, right? So, or you know,
a destination wedding, which is probably hard right now.
Yeah, it could be pretty tough. So, but the main thing is give yourself enough time, especially if you're on a budget, to plan, because that allows you to save money and pay off things as you go.
And planning a wedding during your pandemic is planning to wear a mask. So, although our dreams weren't for people to wear masks at our wedding, we probably will.
Right.
And are.
It's just, you know, for us, that's what we feel comfortable with. We don't want to put any family at risk. So,
being healthy or staying healthy is probably most important.
Right.
You know.
So, thank you for watching our video. We glad that you stuck to the end. Our dogs are passed out.
They are. They'll make an appearance later.
But yeah, definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, and
comment below.
Comment, yeah, give us a comment. Share. What are you guys doing for your?
Yeah, let us know.
For your wedding. Do you guys have any suggestions for us? What should we do?
Yeah, we're open.
Yeah. Where are you guys going? You know, for your honeymoon. So.
Or are you even going on a honeymoon?
Right. So hopefully this video helped out. So once again, thank you again for watching, and we appreciate it. And hopefully you'll see our next video up soon. We'll see how it goes. Peace.